Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to talk about hydroelectric power in Costa Rica by Jorge Alberto Guzman, Ari Goldberg, and Andres Monge. First, to start off this presentation, the guiding statement of our project is: what is the impact of hydroelectric power in Costa Rica?
What is hydroelectric power? Hydroelectric power is electricity created by the energy produced by the motion of water.
Now, what is the efficiency of this type of energy source? Well, for instance, it is renewable, it doesn't create emissions into the atmosphere, and it's reliable. Unlike solar panels, for example, that rely on sunlight, whilst hydroelectric power only relies on the constant flow of water, which happens naturally. And to what extent is hydroelectric power used in Costa Rica? Well, actually, renewable energy as a whole is provides 98% of the electrical energy for the whole country. That's a study from 2016. And in 2019, Costa Rica generated 67% of its energy just from hydropower. In fact, the government states that 2019 was the fifth consecutive year in which Costa Rica ran on more than 98% renewable energy.
Our,
In,
coun-
the,
uh, our country is very privileged to have some big hydroelectric powers all over Central America. But our main hydroelectric plants are Rentazón, Angostura, Corovici, and among others.
As you can see, next to them is their megawatts.
process of hydroelectric power production. As the flowing water passes through the hydroelectric plant, it captures the energy. The turbine converts the water's kinetic energy into mechanical energy and finally into electrical energy.
So, what are the implications of our situation? Well, for once, a positive implication is building a broad and versatile storage. This is positive, and it's also renewable. The factor we chose is environmental, and well, the equipment used for hydro plants lasts up to 25 years, and the system only fails when the water stops flowing, which it rarely does, as mentioned before. Uh, an implication negative is invading natural habitats and possibly impacting ecosystem. The impact on wildlife and natural habitats. And the hydro plant construction normally relies on building around an existing water source, which detains fish from breeding, and that not only affects those fish, but also other species that prey on said fish. So the whole food chain is impacted.
A suggestion is to collect rainfall and purify and decontaminate it. The strengths are that it is possibly cheaper, doesn't rely on using existing water source, therefore it doesn't affect an ecosystem or the organisms within it, would only require to dig a cannon, doesn't change the longevity of the system's durability. And the weaknesses are that would take much longer to collect rainfall than to simply build around an existing water source, economic investments, possibly unreliable, and new concept might be rejected.
So that was our first trial and idea, and when we developed it, we came to our final suggestion and analysis. And first and foremost, it is imperative to clarify that hydroelectric power is the most used form form of renewable energy in Costa Rica. And according to wwvic.com, hydropower is the most efficient way to generate electricity. However, seeing how hydro plants affect wildlife and taking into account the tourism magnetized by Costa Rica's biodiversity, it would be counterintuitive not to do something about the non-eco-friendly factor in hydroelectric energy. So what do we do to separate these two clashing components? First, as our original plan said, we collect rainfall and decontaminate it. This will be cheaper and wouldn't negatively affect water life. How do we fix the weaknesses? As to the economic investment, it would be a large donation and employment. But if and when the innovation succeeds, the money earned will compensate for the money invested. As to whether or not it might be rejected, a marketing team would analyze the correct ways to approach this concept and how to create a positive reaction in the public and our investors. The money earned with the success built from this could be used to invest in artificial rain or artificial precipitation, otherwise known as rainmaking, which would solve the problem for the durability of collecting water.
Thank you.
And this is our APA.